P3, 3.4. Wilma sat in front of the TV. A bowl of popcorn lay in her lap. She was changing channels with the remote control. Pictures flashed from the screen, but nothing seemed good to Wilma. "Welcome, Wilma," a booming voice shouted suddenly. Popcorn spilled all over. Wilma dropped the remote control to the floor. Wilma looked at the television. The man on TV seemed to be looking right at her. He held a thin stick. The man spoke again. "Wilma," the man said, "I'm so glad you tuned in to the All Senses Network. All senses, all the time." "This is impossible," thought Wilma. "Is he talking to me?" She rubbed her eyes. "Open your eyes, Wilma," said the man. Wilma opened them. She saw that the man was standing in front of an orchestra. He said, "Sit back and enjoy the music, Wilma. You do like music, don't you?" "Yes, but the music I like is different from—" Wilma stopped herself. "This is nonsense," she thought. The man grinned at Wilma. Then he turned and tapped his stick on a music stand. A pleasing tune rose from the string section of the orchestra. Violins were playing. Wilma felt a tickle under her chin. The tickle traveled to her nose, and Wilma sniffed a lemony smell. Yellow smoke drifted in front of her eyes. "I am not just hearing the music," Wilma suddenly realized. "I'm seeing it and feeling it and smelling it," she said aloud. At that moment, her tongue tasted sweet lemonade. A flute played high, fast notes. Silver ribbons darted back and forth across the room. A cool breeze blew, bringing the smell of a pine forest. "This is incredible," thought Wilma. The violins played bright and colorful sounds. A red balloon dangled from the ceiling. Other stringed instruments joined in. The balloon swelled as the music grew louder and deeper. The woodwinds added their sounds. The balloon turned dark purple. It grew larger and larger. When the horns blasted their first notes, the giant balloon exploded. Lights of color shot out like fireworks. Wilma laughed and clapped. "This is awesome," she thought. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-ba-boom. Drums beat a rhythm throughout the house. The floor shook. Wilma bounced up and down. The whole orchestra was playing now. The music rose and fell and whirled. Raindrops plopped. A gust of wind chilled Wilma's skin. Wilma looked up. The ceiling had turned into a huge, dark cloud. A musician was getting the cymbals ready. "Uh-oh," Wilma thought. The musician hit the cymbals. Crash! A bolt of lightning hit the floor, knocking Wilma backwards. She smelled smoke and tasted dust. The drums thundered, the horns blared. The music was as loud as a storm. Rain poured from the clouds overhead. Water covered the carpet and rose quickly. Wilma stood up. The water reached her ankles, then her knees. Wilma peered at the TV screen while the water rose to her waist. "Is that a huge gong?" Wilma asked herself. "Is that musician about to hit that gong?" Wilma dived for the remote control. She pushed the off button. The TV set snapped off. The flood waters disappeared. The room was quiet. Wilma looked around. Everything seemed normal. "I must have been dreaming," Wilma thought. Wilma looked at the remote control. Her thumb pushed on. Wilma held her breath until a commercial came on the screen. She had seen it before. Two cats were talking to each other about their favorite food. Nothing unusual there, Wilma thought. Wilma switched to another channel. Another commercial was on, showing fruit dancing in a bowl of cereal. Perfectly normal, thought Wilma. She felt relieved. Wilma sat back to see what show came on next. As she watched, Wilma tossed some popcorn into her mouth. Ugh! She spit it out fast. She looked into the bowl with surprise. The broken balloon was lying in the bowl, and it had changed the popcorn into every color of the rainbow.